On OSRC News at 7, Ondo State Government addresses security concerns, assures safety of residents. Infrastructure development, Akure residents celebrate progress as township roads receive facelifts. Reps orders NCC to block pornographic websites, call for action against obscene content. And from the foreign scene, Bhutan next generation face on amid increasing unemployment rates.
Good evening, the news at 7. I am Omoshiliola Adesoyajayi. Residents of Ondo State have been reassured of the commitment of the present administration to sustain and promote policies and programs that will enhance the security of every inhabitant towards the economic prosperity of the state. Addressing some women protesters at the governor's office in Akure, the special advisor to Governor Lokaida on legal matters and special duties, Bola Taiwo, and the special advisor on women affairs, Dr. Osrc, restated the commitment of the Ayela administration to safety of residents. The protesters, mostly women armed with different inscriptions, demanded the interventions of government and security agencies following the adoption of 9 surveillance at Iluabu in Akure North local government area of the state recently.
Àwọn èèyàn wọ́n sì máa lọ rìpọ́ọ̀tì lágọ̀ọ́ ọlọ́pàá pé wọ́n ti gbé èèyàn àbí ìjọba á dẹ̀ dá sí bẹ̀tẹ̀ wá ti wá báyìí a máa bá àwọn lídà yìí tó nídìí yín wá àbá wọn ṣe mítì nǹkan tá a máa sọ àlè sọ níta báyìí àbí tá a bá sọ níta àwọn tó lára bí bá ṣe tó sùn náà ó tẹ̀lé kidnapper pẹ̀lú yìí àwọn tó mọ̀ náà ṣe pé wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú yìí tó ẹ fi ọkàn yín balẹ̀ ẹ fi ọkàn yín balẹ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé ayédà ti wá ilẹ̀ dìbò fún kò dẹ̀ ti disappoint yín rí kò disappoint yín rí ó dẹ̀ máa fọkàn balẹ̀ àwọn ìwọ̀n tá bá ti bá wọn ṣe mítì sá wọ́n á fún yín ní feedback.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run ọba ìjàmbá ibi ìdààmú oníwà ìpínlẹ̀ wa àṣírí àwọn ìka ènìyàn ó dẹ̀ máa tú ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí obìnrin ẹ̀mọ́ pé gómìnà wa lọ́bìnrin ìsàlẹ̀dá wọ́n fẹ́ràn àwọn obìnrin lọ́wọ́ wà nínú òrìn ìyá yìí rárá mo lọ ṣe ní ká tètè wá bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́lẹ́ fi ọkàn balẹ̀ pé lágbára Ọlọ́run láìpẹ́ láì jù gbogbo nǹkan tó dàbí ẹ̀rù níwájú wa ó máa di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá ní òun tẹ ṣàkíyèsí ní kíákíá ìjọ torí Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ kí kọ́dínétọ̀ yìí pásítọ̀ kí wọ́n tètè ibi oníṣẹ̀lẹ̀ sí wa orí wa onígbàgbọ́dọ̀.
ká tó dé ní alẹ́ àná mọ́jú ẹ̀ní wọ́n ti da gbogbo ọjà rú báwọn náà ṣe wá ní ṣe bá ní bàbá kan tó fi ọkàn wa balẹ̀ pé ká má wọ́ọ̀rì tó bá ní ohun tó ń dùn wá lọ́kàn ká wá àdèwà gbéra láti ọjà àdàlúrú o à ń bọ̀ wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́ àwa bá bàbá wa gómìnà dáadáa ẹni yìí ẹni ẹ̀yẹ bàbá yẹn lórúkọ Jésù kò ní dààmú ó dẹ̀dú gbogbo àwa agbogbo obìnrin ọjà ọ̀jẹ̀ mi kí ó dùn wọ́n nínú.
They have come here to say they know the governor has their welfare and their security, their market. So we are here to reassure them that the governor is still committed, resolutely committed to their security and to their welfare. We have told them that by God's grace, everything will be under control. The police squad and other security officers are out there ensuring that normalcy returns to the markets.
The Supreme Court has dismissed the legal challenge filed by the former Ondo State Deputy Governor and PDP governorship candidate in the November 16 2024 gubernatorial election, Honorable Bola Ajayi, in a landmark judgment delivered, the Supreme Court ruled against the appellants on the issue of local standing, stating that they lacked the legal standing to pursue the case, rendering the appeal unsustainable. The court affirmed that the case was statute barred, upholding the decisions of the lower courts. It emphasized that the course of action arose on May 20, 2024, when the nomination forms were submitted to INEC, while the appellants filed their suit at the Federal High Court on June 7, 2024, well beyond the 14-day limit prescribed by law. Consequently, the appeal was dismissed with the court ordering Bola Ajayi to pay 2 million naira in costs to each of the 4 respondents. Ajayi had sought to nullify the election of Deputy Governor Dr. Laide Adelami over allegations of discrepancies in his name change, as well as challenging the case. Reacting to the developments, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of the State, Orika Odiajulo, SAN, described the judgment as a victory for democracy, the rule of law, and the good people of the state. He emphasized that electoral disputes should be grounded in concrete evidence rather than technicalities that do not affect the credibility, effectively solidifies the legitimacy of the APC-led government in Ondo State under Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa, closing the chapter on the prolonged political legal lawsuit. Meanwhile, reports just reaching us says Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa says his administration will not shirk its responsibility of protecting the lives and property of all inhabitants. Governor Aiyedatiwa, while reacting to the recent security challenges in the state, said all ends are on deck to rejig the security architecture. The governor, who addressed journalists and people of the state at the Akure airport following his arrival from Abuja, promised to prioritize the security of lives and property of every resident of the state. The governor enjoined the people of the state to continue to go about their lives.
The 1.2 kilometer Oja-Oshodi community road construction work is in full swing. The road, which links Araromi, Odokoyi, and Isolo communities, is getting a much-needed facelift. Similarly, the 1.2 kilometer Odokpetu community road, which connects to Okepadi, is also nearing completion with fresh asphalt overlay. In addition, roads along Bank Balogun to Odole to Ondo State Government's broader commitment to rehabilitating 50 township roads across the state. Residents have commended the state government's efforts, saying the gesture would not only reduce transportation difficulties, but also boost economic activities in the area.
So happy. By this time last year, this road was very rough. Virtually 2 months ago, when I come back, I see that the road was very clear and they do it very good. And everyone in this street was very happy. It's a good thing for us to be enjoying. I'm so happy for that.
Advisor to the Governor on Infrastructure, Mr. Ayorinde Olawoye, reaffirmed government's commitment to infrastructural growth. He also issued a caution to residents, urging them to desist from activities that could damage the newly constructed roads.
Yes, the contractor has been working effectively, and we don't have any issue with his work. He has followed the procedure of engineering. We have our people on ground there, that like a director of quality control and some resident engineer, that they are with that contractor working on this asphalt overlay. Burning of tires should be prohibited on this particular road that we are just working on. 2 is visitation, regular visitation. I will advise the community in this area that they should exercise on regular visitation of the hydraulic structure, so they can enjoy the span of the road better.
As construction work continues across different roads in Ondo State, residents remain hopeful that when completed, The roads will enhance connectivity and improve infrastructural growth in their areas. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
Also, motorists and commuters along CBN Road in Akure have commended the infrastructural drive of the Ondo State government. Aside from the easy movement, which is the key benefit of the well-paved road, residents are ecstatic about the aesthetics the ongoing reconstruction of the intersections will add to the area when completed. Osrc's Joy Pius visited the construction site in Akure to glean the impact on motorists. Presented from our studio.
This used to be the view driving through the CBN Road in Alagbaka, Akure. According to motorists, the intersection here had obstructed easy navigation, leading to traffic jams. The intersection is now wearing a new look. The old structure has now given way to this new design, which residents of the area welcome with applause.
This project now, I think transportation will be very much easier, and there will be less traffic jams, especially for those that are going to their working place urgently, all these urgent and emergency.
Accident máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan bọ̀ wọ́n ṣe ṣe báyìí accident mi kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ṣá wọ́n ṣe wá ṣe ìsìn torí tó bá ń lọ báyìí rí èèyàn tó ń bọ̀ tó bá ń lọ báyìí rí èèyàn tó ń bọ̀ tó ń jọ wá ríra wọn tó ní sí ọ̀rọ̀ accident bọ́n gbà yẹn báyìí tó ń kàn fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣọyìn tó ń kàn lẹ pósítà mọ́ gbogbo bẹ̀rẹ̀ pátá kò sọ̀ tó rí èèyàn tó ń bọ̀ látàgbà bí wọ́n rí èèyàn tó ń bọ̀ látàgbà bí so accident máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ táìmù báyìí bọ̀ báyìí sí báyìí tó ń ṣe báyìí it's clear.
The aesthetics of the construction to the state capital, when completed, cannot be overlooked.
I guess by the time they finish everything, it's going to add up beauty. Yes, it will be very beautiful.
The major impact I see here is just that it beautifies this place actually. The one that was here before, me personally, I used to complain about the gates here that it's just like an obstruction, like those things sometimes it can cause accidents here. So, but when they remove it and I saw that they are renovating that, so like it was a good thing, sure. So and it beautified this place too.
Especially ibi tí àwọn gbé Alágbàká so irú roundabout ìgbélé ó yẹ kó wà ó jẹ́ befitting one tó wà lẹ́dí gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ pé befitting roundabout tí àwa Alágbàká bíi tí a expect òun lélẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣe sí bíi.
As construction works intensify on other sites, residents of Shagari, where the flyover project is situated, are optimistic more than ever that the work will soon be delivered.
The federal government says it is currently investigating the quality of food given to students at Unity secondary schools across the country. A statement by the Director of Press in the Ministry of Education, Folashade Boyowo, said the move following a recent inspection of some of the colleges where it was discovered that 2 colleges provided meals that did not meet the requirements.
The many Gari processing hub where cassava is turned while the production continue. The increasing prices is a concern for both producers and consumers. Let's take a closer look at the cause of the increasing prices. Gari is a Nigerian diet, please. From harvesting and peeling to fermentation, drying and frying, every stage requires labor, resources and time.
When we root it from farm, we peel it and we wash it. After washing it, we grind it. After grind it, we put it inside sack and press it. After pressing, maybe after 3 or 4 days, we press it and we started frying it.
However, what was once an affordable and easily accessible meal is now slipping beyond the reach of many Nigerians. While other staple food items have seen a decline in price in recent months, Gari remains an exception. To understand why, we spoke with Gari producers who shed light on the factors driving this increase.
The cost is from the farmer and transportation. because from Ogbese and Anemore market to here, if they want to transport cassava for us, they may collect like 70,000, 50,000. The rate of transportation is too high. Also, the transportation rate, we are going to put it on our market. It will make the rate of the garri selling to be high.
Faced with these challenges, producers are calling on the government for urgent interventions, including reduction in transportation costs and financial support for farmers.
Káwọn ìjọba kan help wa kan ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Bó ṣe ná fẹ́ yá wa lówó ni ká mọ́ra má dá padà díẹ̀díẹ̀ kan fún wa. Káwa náà lè rówó fi ṣe business.
We need the assistance of government concerning the transportation and also concerning the capital we are using for this business. We want government to assist us and to help us.
Amid the continuous surge in the price of garri, many Nigerians still rely on it as a quick and convenient meal. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
The House of Representatives has instructed the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) to block all websites posting pornographic and obscene content in the country. This resolution was passed following a motion sponsored by a lawmaker, Nakatu Tapoki, representing Katsina. Tapoki argued that cyber pornography is a growing global problem and Nigeria has not taken sufficient steps to address it. He emphasized that Nigeria is a highly religious country where major faiths prohibit nudity and obscenity. The lawmaker also cited examples of several countries across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East that have enacted laws banning pornography. He referenced warnings from psychologists and sociologists. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabirewa, has expressed it abroad. Dabirewa, in a statement in Abuja, at the launching of 2025 Comprehensive Data Mapping Initiative for Nigerians in the Euro-Asia region, urged Nigerians across the region to register on the Commission's data mapping portal, calling it a vital step towards making diaspora voting a reality. She reiterated that enabling Nigerians in the diaspora to vote has been a long-standing priority for NIDCOM, stressing that every Nigerian of voting age, regardless of their location, should have a voice in the country's democratic process. Dabirewa noted that one of the main barriers to diaspora voting is the lack of credible data on Nigerians living abroad. The Diaspora Data Mapping Portal, launched in 2021, aims to collect comprehensive democratic data on Nigerians living abroad. The primary goal is to better understand the diaspora community and provide tailored services such as diaspora mortgage schemes, diaspora housing, and other personalized packages. To the foreign scene now, in Kenya's capital, several people have been injured in battles between police and protesters. The unrest comes after President William Ruto donated more anger among Kenyans who say they are struggling with high cost of living. Omoshiki Ologode tells us more.
These Kenya are angry. Dozens of them stormed the Jesus Winner Church while a service was being led on Sunday, saying they wanted to occupy the building. The protests were triggered by this, a pledge by President William Ruto of $150,000 to help build a new church. Some Kenyans are accusing politicians of using the clergy for political gain.
People say I'm cunning, but I'm not. I do everything for the glory of God.
Despite the protest, the president donated a similar amount to another church on the same day.
This is a game they are playing with us. We are the ones who are suffering. Only God can save us now. We are on our own.
Thousands of young people took to the streets last June, protesting against bad governance, increasing taxes, and a high cost of living. And now, a deal between the government party and the opposition led by Raila Odinga to share power in what they call a broad-based government has made people even more frustrated.
Life has become very hard. We don't know what the future holds. We just have to pray and hope the youth registers to vote, because that's the only way to take our power back.
Some of the protesters who were injured during Sunday protest say they will continue to come out to the streets until they achieve change. Omosheke Olodunde, Osrc News.
And Bhutan is struggling to find jobs for its increasingly well-educated young citizens. Nearly 20% of 15 to 24-year-olds are unemployed, a problem the Prime Minister Karen Gates has described as essential. Ekoluwa Akinwuye has details.
Bhutan's next generation is its best educated English-speaking and computer literate. Advances in education were one of the factors that helped this tiny Himalayan kingdom advance out of the UN's list of least developed countries 2 years ago. But this economy can't keep up with its well-qualified graduates. So many like Jitsin and Funto set their ambitions on a safe, reliable government job.
I just want to appear the civil service examination and get into civil service and serve my country.
Did you look at what other options you could have?
I can't say that I did not. I did try to, but then there's not much to look at in Bhutan right now.
I see civil service as a form of experience for at least 10 to 20 years until I figure out what I truly want to do in life. Another option would obviously be self-employment or going into business, but then you need funding for that. You also need a market for that. And our country, as you already know, we don't have many people compared to other nations. That's why I feel like business is not a viable option, especially for young people like myself.
9% of Bhutan's population, at least 64,000 people, has moved overseas, mainly to Australia, in search of better opportunities.
After graduating, I was idle for 3 months. There were no job openings. When there were, of course I applied, but I was fresh out of college with no experience whatsoever, so my applications were unsuccessful. Many people my age go to Australia, make some money and come back.
There are not many openings for people like us who didn't fully graduate or with no prior experience.